Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 962 of FloWrestling Radio Live. We got the crew. It's a good crew. James Dean Rader, Ben Funky Askren, and you're the best part of the crew. That's my favorite. Hey.
What?
Don't be nice to the listeners. They are the best part of the crew. Because otherwise,
we should make an all-time top 10 listeners.
Yeah. And then leave Keith off it and just devastate him. That could rock his entire world. Honestly, if we did that, I feel like a lot of mail would not get delivered. If we did this in the holiday season, there would be children that don't get their Christmas gifts if we did that to Keith. So in the name of Christmas...
Wait, Keith is Santa Claus now?
No, but he is a mailman.
Oh.
He delivers this nation's mail. He keeps this nation moving, Ben.
All right.
Salute to you,
like
Keith Gothard.
Yeah, salute to Keith. But you're not gonna be on the list, maybe.
Damn it.
Yeah, that would be a good gimmick. Anyway, anywho, we are gonna do some tiers as promised.
Let's go.
But I would love to not do them, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and do them because the season is rapidly approaching. Because once you get the end of Worlds, it's like boom. All right, Super 32, and then here you are. It's Worlds time, and what a glorious time of the year.
NCAA, you mean? NCAA?
What did I say?
These are Worlds time. I think these are
yeah.
Worlds, then Super 32, then Worlds again.
Yeah, you're right.
NCAA time. Let's go.
NCAA time, which is a glorious time of wrestling. Tournaments are going to start popping up here we got some, Caleb's going to start wrestling. This is going to be exciting.
Ooh,
we got tournaments going here in Texas. I don't know about you wannabes in Wisconsin, but
we don't encourage any youth wrestling in the fall, actually, Christian. Being serious. PNL, we don't have a youth division in the fall either. We only have high school kids only, because all of us kind of feel the same way. And actually, I encourage my middle school kids to not start wrestling until December, because the ones who are older, I want them to continue into the spring. So I just think like, hey man, they don't need a 10-month season at this time of their lives. So we'll wrestle like December to like June, which is about 7 months.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrestle this weekend, and I don't care what you say. We don't get that. Honestly, it's more about like, all right, are we home this weekend? Can we do it? Am I gonna be traveling? Because honestly, November, December, it's harder for me to get him to tournaments.
For sure.
Because I'm traveling so much more. So.
I bet Katie's a better corner person than you, though. she gets down to business.
Honestly, it's funny you mention that because she actually kind of knows a lot about wrestling, but she turned into mom mode. Like, she'd sat in the bleachers for years and years, like when I coached and stuff. And now that Caleb's coaching, she's like screaming out. She screamed that there was an illegal headlock in a match one time, which
no, she didn't.
Yes, she did. It absolutely was not. I was like, you have to stop. You cannot do this. You're not going to be that mother. I'll yell at the refs. But no.
If you yell at the refs, you got to at least know the rules.
Yeah, that is what I can at least make that claim. So yeah, it's a takedown tournament, which I think is going to be. Caleb's very excited.
Oh, you guys still do those? I haven't seen one of those in a minute.
I've never been to one. I've never seen one.
Really?
No, but Caleb is so fired up for this because he's more of a neutral man, you know.
Okay. They don't like mat wrestling in Texas.
Got it. He likes it. He's just not particularly good at it at this point. That's where JD and Tyler come in. They don't have. I said, listen, I don't ask for much. I want him to be able to turn people like Spencer Lee from the top position. You give them one goal, and we're not even close, to be honest. So I don't know.
JD, what was your number one turn in college?
Number one turn in college, honestly, just a tight waist tilt.
Fancy.
Tight waist tilt, nice.
Yeah.
Not even a 2-on-1 tilt,
guy.
just tight waist tilt. I like it.
You probably transitioned to a 2-on-1, but I was a big tight waist guy.
Love it.
Okay.
Got these short arms, so when I got it, it was tight.
Tight waist, suck the life out of them, tilt them up. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
What a beast.
All
okay.
right.
So Ben's not coming to the takedown tournament. AWA ducking. Okay, moving on. Should we go right to tiers? 149?
I think that's what we're doing today. We're excited for it.
I've stalled as long as I could. I made it 5 minutes before we had to dive into this segment. So we've done 100 and 25 through 141 tiers. I would say, I don't know, probably 25 and 41 were the most debated. 33 was a little smoother. 49 has potential. So why don't we get right into it? I'll kind of read the first, handful of guys, and then we can start cutting this up. Number 1, this is our current rankings. We've got Ridge Lovett, Shane Van Ness, Kyle Parko, Caleb Henson, Brock Mahler, Graham Rooks, Chance Lamer, Jackson Arrington, Dylan D'Amelio, Victor Voinovich. And I'll kind of stop there because that's the top 10. So this weight has a lot of changes. Two things sort of here, but Sammy Sasso was moving up anyways, and now he's dealing with his health problems from the gunshot wound, so he's going to be out of this weight class for various reasons. Yianni has graduated. Austin Gomez. Now here's what I'll say.
He might wrestle again. There's a chance.
I was gonna drop that kind of as a little surprise thing in the tiers. I'll just say it right now. He could absolutely transfer to Michigan and wrestle for them. Like that is.
Well, he did sort of.
He's at Michigan. He's at Michigan.
He has in no way transferred to Michigan. He lives in Michigan.
He does live there.
If I live in Ann Arbor, I did not transfer to Michigan. I just live there. Okay.
Man, that's the hardest part, though, Christian. Once you pack your crap up, you get in a van and you go somewhere, then all you do is some paperwork after that.
So, and this is no inside information. I know Tyler's my boy, but this is nothing from him or anyone. I just think he's going to be around. They're going to have probably a need. Chance Lamer, who I just said his name, is not at Michigan anymore. He is gone. I don't know what they're going to do at 149. Once those duels start happening and the teams, Austin's going to get that itch. That's just a theory.
Yes,
I don't know if it's going to happen.
It's a very good theory. Bormet already got 3 All-American transfers. Why not a 4th? No, he already got 4. And he could have half his lineup would be All-American transfers. It would be legendary.
Yeah, he's just poached the Big Ten. And you look at 149, how does Austin Gomez not look at this and think, well, I can absolutely win this, right? He's beaten Ridge Lovett
He beat him multiple times 2 years ago.
Yeah. Now, Ridge is a beast. Shane Van Ness is an emerging element.
But he beat Shane last year in the dual meet also.
That's true.
2 takedowns to 0, I believe.
Should you want to put Gomez in our tiers? Because I think he's a tier 1 guy. For sure.
Until he's declared himself wrestling, I say no, but I think we stay woke on it.
All right, we'll stay woke, but he's also in my tier 1, without a doubt. So this is going to be. I'm going to start it right away with some.
Oh my gosh.
With some heat. So tier 1 for me are people that I think can make the finals and win the tournament, right? And I think that's Ridge, Shane, Caleb Henson, and I'm kind of wavering a little on Parko. Maybe not Parko, but maybe Parko's in, maybe not, but that's where I'm drawing the line. And yes, I know I drew the line right in front of Brock Mahler.
But you jumped over Parko to go to Henson, but man, Kyle Parko had a good year last year.
No doubt.
I got to pull his WrestleStat up and figure out why you're wrong.
Caleb Henson was a true freshman last year.
Yep.
Was 27-5 with wins over a lot of really good guys, including Brock, including Sammy Sasso. He beat Murin. He beat Yaya.
Mahler, Gomez,
yeah. So he has a lot of really, really good wins. He covered in the Cornell duel, which I got that one right against Ben, as we all recall. That's one of his greatest victories.
Pinero's not on this list. That's sad.
It is sad. Now, in that vein, does Swiderski? It sounds like Swiderski for sure is moving up. The question is, will he redshirt or not? But if he comes in there, I wouldn't put Casey in tier 1. But
also, I think the plan was to redshirt Pinero this season anyway, potentially. So.
Yes. So either way, so I'm not sure what they're good.
I thought Pinero redshirted his first year.
He gray shirted.
Yeah. That's why
he might not even lose
eligibility.
Got it. Okay.
So that's my tier 1, I think. I just think Henson and Parko are pretty close, and I think Henson is more likely to have a jump at this stage in his career than Kyle.
Yeah, I think you got to throw Kyle in there also.
He's in there.
Okay, you're putting Kyle in now because you were very hesitant on it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so we're putting Kyle in there. It does make me sad to hear you not have Brock Mahler in there, but as I look through his stats, I don't know which win of his I'm going to use to argue him in tier 1. But then the other thing is, I feel like when I go below him to Graham Rooks or Chance Lamer, their records are way worse. Like when you look at Graham Rooks had 10 losses last year, kind of like to some not so good guys. Same thing with Chance Lamer. So it's weird because Mahler's like, I can't find the win to justify him moving into tier 1 to argue with you. I wanted to. Okay. But I also look just one step below him, and I'm like, well, these guys lost to a bunch of dudes. And Mahler's losses are Parco, Pinheiro, Parco, and Henson.
Yes.
Right. And then, even if you go 2 years ago, it's Yaya, Austin O'Connor, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't really lose to not good guys. So it's almost like I want to put him in tier 1, but I agree with you. I don't see the win there to justify it. And then maybe he's tier 2 island. I don't know. Which we usually don't have islands. Islands are usually tier 1s.
True. I think he's a good candidate for that because I'm not going to remake your point, but there's no one with a real comparable resume to his. Now, if you wanted to say someone like Dylan D'Amelio moving up, maybe had a tier 2 type of resume, but really he was really tough towards the end of the year. But he didn't have that all year long.
He had 14 losses last year, Christian.
Yes.
Brutal.
I'm also excited to see Jackson Arrington this year. Blood round as a true freshman last season. 1 point match with Mahler at NCAs. So we're looking at somebody who could make a jump
up
into the next level. Jackson Arrington is one of those guys for me.
Arrington was a guy who I was really impressed with in high school. But then he came out and, he didn't really have a big win. He had some kind of he wrestled some guys tough, but he never I guess probably Chance Lamer would be his biggest win in the early part of the season. But then we look at Chance Lamer and it's like, well, Chance Lamer, he was 15-9 last year.
Yeah.
So, he had some big wins at the end, but, his record's not all that great. So, that's one where it's like, yeah, he wrestled a lot of people tough, but he didn't really get over the hump against a real big name. And had a good NCAAs, and kind of same thing with Chance Lamer.
Yeah. So I think Mahler is kind of a tier 2 island kind of guy.
Yes.
And then it's like Rooks, Lamer, Arrington, D'Amelio is probably another group. And then maybe you could slide Voinovich, Abbas, and Real Buto all in there. Yeah. And then maybe cut it off then for a pretty big tier 3.
Man, this weight class really dropped off, huh?
Big time. Yeah.
Lost a lot of big names.
JD, what do you know about incoming freshmen at this weight or potential true freshmen? You can see why Cornell was like, man, could we get freaking Meyer at this weight class?
Who else you guys don't have on any of these lists? So you don't have Meyer, and you don't have Mitchell, which are 2 big names who are going to be very competitive.
Well,
you don't have Cody Chittum on this list either.
Well, he has Jason Krazer on there.
Yeah.
So
they
ranked him.
Well, Chittum wouldn't be ranked because...
Yeah, but we can still put him in. I know where I'm putting freaking Meyer Shapiro. He's not ranked.
I'm putting Mitchell in.
Now, hold on. You can wear the shirt all you want. I grill you all the time. What weight's he going? Is he wrestling this year? See, you don't know nothing. So
I got a plan. Kale, I got a plan. I'm going to put him on 157 because I think that's the way he should be. So that's where I'm going to put him today.
Okay. Do you have any indication whatsoever that that's their intent? Because it sounds like that's what Levi Haynes wants to do.
I have zero plan. I have zero idea. Man, Voinovich was rough last year too. I just looked at his record. I think we go that small tier 3 before we get on to. I threw Chittum in because I thought Chittum maybe could be 49. I don't think Mitchell or Meyer are. Or I know Mitchell's not. Absolutely not. Meyer, I don't think so. But Chittum, I think he could be a 49 pounder.
Meyer for sure is going 57. That's established from the staff.
And Chittum?
Chittum, I think he could be. I think he's going to be the guy at 57 for Iowa State.
Okay.
That is my belief.
All right.
I believe that's what Dresser said. Dresser did a whole thing like a month or two ago where he talked about the lineup, and that's what he said.
Dresser's a big plan discloser, not a plan hider. You kind of get to know his plans a little bit. But yeah,
I just don't see the when coaches hide their plans, it's just like, what is the benefit to this?
Yeah. How much element of surprise can you get in a 6-month season?
Correct. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's not like you're in October and you're like, well, I'm going to train for one guy in October. Like, come on.
Yes. So, all right, 49. Is there anyone you could see? All right, making a jump. We have Sidursky ranked 16th, which
I actually
is probably right, but I feel like
I was just saying, I don't think Colin's wrestling. I think Colin's doing an Olympic red shirt. Am I making that up, or did I hear that from my brother?
Can you take Olympic red shirts for any nation?
Oh, he routes for Italy at the Worlds.
I know that, but I'm like, I thought
generally goes through USA Wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was like a USA Wrestling comes up with the process, not the Italian Federation or whatever it's called.
I don't know.
I don't know how
USA Wrestling can work with the NCAA. I would assume that every country could work with the USA.
With the
or
US,
with
I'm
sorry, the NCAA.
Yeah, possibly.
USOC, IOC, USOC.
Well, it wouldn't be the USOC.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the United States Olympic Committee. It would be the
IOC.
Knowing what I know about the Italian Federation, this is a group that's heavily invested in the sport of wrestling. So I'm sure they have a process and a plan around this.
You know who they recruited from Italy, right? They recruited Ben Honus also.
Ben Honus Green Ellis, yes.
They're seriously invested.
They're big time into it.
Honus got like bronze at Europeans this year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is notable.
Another bronzed Italian. That's great. Okay. Any other 149 thoughts? Are there any? I've been trying to ask this. Like, are there any freshmen?
Cannon Webster, maybe he's a 141, 149 guy. I would assume he'll redshirt, but I'm pretty high on Webster.
I like him.
And at Illinois, he's definitely a guy who could come into the lineup, I think.
I got to assume redshirt. Who is Oklahoma Oklahoma State gonna wrestle Jordan Williams this way? And do you think he can be effective?
I don't know. I'm a wait and see with Jordan at this point.
I feel the same way.
Not been the best off season. I'll just leave it at that.
They have McDougald still at 149. So.
Well, that's Oklahoma.
Not same school.
That's right.
Okay.
They're maroon.
They are big rivals, in fact.
Yeah, it's like Bedlam or something.
Bedlam. Yeah, it's Bedlam. Okay, so that's 49. Man, I don't know what this weight. Who's going to win this weight class? Gun to your head, man. I'm not making a prediction.
Ridge or Austin Gomez?
Oh, 2 winners. That'll be interesting.
I said or. All right, fine, Ridge. Ridge more likely.
So, how much... But the one name you didn't say, I thought you might, is Shane. Is it because he only had really the one tournament, or do you just view Ridge as being that far?
I guess I don't say I feel super strongly about it. And if Shane won, I definitely wouldn't do a taser bet on it. Yeah, he wasn't great. He wasn't great all year, and then even the first match at NCAAs before he got on a heater, he went down big to was it Graham Rooks?
Miller.
No,
Miller.
it was the Maryland kid.
Yeah, Miller.
Ethan Miller. He went down big to him. So I just think there may be a few liabilities there especially on bottom, and that's where Ridge really excels.
That's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Hey, Kevin Sir in the chat says Austin Gomez can't wrestle this year because he missed his deadline for his medical hardship application.
Really?
Which he would have needed to wrestle.
What if he did it secretly and Kevin Sir just doesn't know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kevin Sir also made a good point after the show.
Saw that.
Last week in the Facebook chat. He must have been behind, but he mentioned, and this is off the tiers topic, but Yianni would have been on Sebastian Rivera's side of the bracket if he would have made the team. So we were talking a lot about how Yianni would have performed the same as Nick Lee at this, but he would have been on the undeniably easier side of the bracket.
Yeah.
At the World Championships.
And I think that is a very fair point that I'm glad he brought up. But I would also say, how would Nick Lee do on that side? Maybe he would have gone on a run as well. Because
I was thinking though, if I don't know, because they seed 1 through 8 now, correct?
Yeah.
So if you put Yianni at 2 and then Sebastian goes to 3, does that move like they would move right the 4 and the 5 would become the 6, so the 6 would go on the bottom, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it would move some people around. It would have moved around anyone else really tough.
Yeah, good point. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't want to dive into it that much.
Yeah, but the 2 spot was a whole bunch easier.
Yes, way easier.
And Gomez,
I don't see anyone else at 49 coming in to this. I was thinking about Kasich's really tough, but I got to assume he's not starting given the Penn State lineup.
He would also probably be 57, right? Because he was 70 kg at.
No, he wrestled 65.
He wrestled 65.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, 65.
Yes, and I do think there's a good chance we see him in some of those Penn State guys this year, because I know a good chunk of them are going to be wrestling at Senior Nationals in December. So while we might not see them at the end of the year, I think we'll see a lot of those guys at least first half of the season using their 5 events.
Yeah,
true.
And I know nothing, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Mitchell Olympic redshirt either as an option.
Oh wow, and he's still tier 1.
But if you wrestle, I said Austin Gomez could win also.
Austin Gomez.
He didn't even file his medical hardship. We're gonna do some, late work there.
Yeah. One candidate that I thought maybe coming into this year would be interesting at 49, but he's too big now, is Bo Mantanona. But he's like a 57-65. He's kind of growing, which is exciting too, because 57 looks like a really fun weight. And let's get to it. 157 tiers: Levi Haynes, Jared Franick, Peyton Robb. Seen a lot of. I haven't seen video yet, but I've seen a lot of pictures. He's in there training and going hard at it, which is, from the flesh-eating disease to now consistent training is quite significant progress. Ja'Cory Teamer, Ed Scott, Bryce Andonian, Will Luwan. I'm pausing there because that feels like there's a gap. And then you have Daniel Cardenas, Chase Saldate, Chumbley, Zerbin, Kreiser, Swenson, Gallagher to round out the top 14. Who are the title contenders, Ben? Who is your tier 1? No Mitchell allowed.
Tier 1. Bull crap. I got, Levi Haynes, Jared Franick, Peyton Robb, Mitchell Messerbrink, Cody Chittum, Meyer Shapiro.
No Teamer.
Fuck it.
Teamer out. Scott out. No
Andonian. Man, I don't know. I haven't seen Teamer in a long time. He's really good, but I don't know.
I'm kind of, honestly, I get what your exasperation, JD, but I'm kind of with Ben.
Just like you forgot how good this guy was because he.
I definitely forgot. I haven't seen him in forever.
All right, let's look at it. Because his last time at the NC2A tournament,
him and Peyton Robb had that.
He had the handshake.
Yes.
He lost to Will Luwan and Peyton Robb.
He lost 3 in a row.
We call that triple dip here in the States.
Backside. He was sad hours. Can't count it.
Semi slide. They get sad. Yeah, I just watched another match where someone who was good got the butt kicked in the Conti semis, and sometimes you can't count that one.
Yeah,
you're sad.
Sad matches don't count, and that's honestly the big issue with your entire career is you avoided the backside like a.
You're kind of a coward.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
I think you
if
knew.
You were really tough.
If you were really tough, yeah. Try to lose in the semis.
That's where they get tough, right there.
Like a real man.
Hey, why is it Andonian? I'm gonna put Andonian in tier 1 also because he's my favorite.
Bro, he had also another compelling thing is he almost pinned Levi Haynes last year.
Yes.
At
no, that was a pin actually. The ref just didn't want to call it. It was so flat. That was so ridiculous.
It was. I've went back and watched it many times. It was one in the room. I'm looking at him like it looks like he's probably pinned, and then you watch the replay, and I kind of understand like the way Bryce was positioned. You could not see like Levi's other shoulder in a way. So
but that don't mean it wasn't down.
They don't. You're right, it don't.
Sometimes you just know.
Yeah, if you're a pinner, you know when their shoulders are flat. That man's shoulders were down.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not.
That was how crazy was that match, though?
That was crazy, and it was like as soon as he got off his back, I was like, I think it's gonna get kind of bad for Bryce.
Oh yeah,
that was your time.
And he just emptied the tank on the pin too, and
oh yeah,
then it was sad time, and he got pinned in a half Nelson.
Yeah,
but Bryce he's dangerous, man. He is the wildest ride. Being in his corner, just watching Coach Roby like be the swing, like who is he wrestling? Saldate. There's not a risk he won't entertain. No matter he's not tactical.
No
it's just like I'm just trying to do stuff the whole time.
At least with him, he doesn't really lose those exchanges to inferior opponents.
Yeah,
like there are a lot of guys where it's a wild ride and you don't know who they're gonna beat or who they're gonna lose to. With Bryce, he pretty much beats everybody he's supposed to.
Yeah, This is a good point.
So last year he lost to O'Connor twice, Levi, and Ed Scott. That was a bad one. Not that losing to Ed Scott is bad,
but on the backside though, it doesn't count.
Bro, but they were in a team race with NC. They were within 1 point with NC State for to beat them, and they're rivals. And with 5 seconds left in the match, he got pinned against a guy who I don't know if he'd beat him 15-9. And 24-10 previously, and you got pinned by him at NC2As. So yeah, he's gonna be a wild.
I was at the disc golf thing in August with the comedian Bert, and he's like, "I want to sponsor one of these disc golfers, but they can't try to win." He said, "They just got to try to throw the craziest shot they can every single time, and that's it. Not trying to win." And I was thinking, like, that's like what Bryce Antonian did, and no one's even paying him to do it.
Yeah, he just really does it for the people. Also, another thing with Bryce, it was like, is he going to wrestle this year? He did not wrestle his first match until January 15th. He nearly lost to Walker Hurd at the Purple Raider Open. And then,
why didn't he wrestle? I can't remember what the deal was.
He was injured.
Injured, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, he also didn't have the full training and all that stuff. So who knows how much better he could be with full health and all that. So I think he's tier 1. I'll say Levi, Jarrett. I mean, Rob was the number 1 guy basically all year. And then got a flesh-eating disease, which prohibits he was dealing with it at the tournament.
Yeah.
So,
he should. If he was really smart, he would have put it on his opponents. Then it would have, helped him.
He would have not enough infiltrate.
Not enough time. Not enough time. Thank goodness no one else got it.
John had it.
Milner.
I don't think it was the.
I don't think they wrestled each other.
Yeah.
No, don't think so.
War is being waged against wrestlers' flesh. It's not good.
Man, so tier 1 could be pretty big in 157. You know what? I love Ed Scott too. Let's just put him in there. Let's have a big old party in tier 1.
I don't think I can pull trigger on Ed Scott tier 1 yet, but I am going teamer. I'm going Haynes, Franick, Rob, teamer.
Chittum, Shapiro, Messenberg.
Chittum.
Do it. Don't stop.
You think Chittum's tier 1?
He might be. He's freaking good.
Really? I'm not.
Look at some of his freestyle results. Did he take like second or third at Bill Farrell last year?
He's good at freestyle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So in all fairness, I haven't seen him wrestle a lot of big folk style matches, so that does make me a little nervous. But as far as freestyle is concerned, he's really, really good. He's beaten guys who are on the level of like tier 1 guys.
I agree with that. I think in his career he will enter tier 1 right away. I'm not sure, but maybe so.
He lost to Ian Parker at Bill Farrell 3-2 in the finals.
Yeah.
Tier 1 Ian Parker. Move him to tier 1. I think he's a tier 2 guy right now. Talking about Chittum, but could be proven wrong. I feel like he can he can wrestle with a Luan. I mean, a Bryce Andonian Cody Chittum match. You tell me that's happening? It's like that could get interesting because Bryce could for sure pin him, but Chittum could for sure run him down. Big thing for Cody, if he can just stay healthy for a full and have full training and all that, he is going to be an absolute factor here. I feel
I totally forgot. Did you guys remember he wrestled in the scuffle as a high school kid? And I think I think he maybe made the quarters and then lost to Fine Silver.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
He lost 8-3 to Fine Silver, but he had beaten Joey Bianchi, Daniel Kimball, and Caleb Ratchie this was in 2022.
Yeah. So and he wrestled 0 matches last year. He wrestled with Bill Farrell. Why didn't he wrestle at the junior trials? I can't remember. Is he too old?
He was hurt.
What's wrong with him?
Well, he gets injured. I touched on this. It happens.
Yeah, but I specifically, what's wrong with him?
I do not know specifics.
I don't know. Shoulder.
Did he wrestle at the Open?
No, he was going to.
He did not, right?
He didn't.
Yeah, he did not.
Okay. Well,
so
hopefully he's healthy.
I have an issue with this entire first group because I don't, in my heart of hearts, believe the first 7 can win an NCAA title. I don't believe it. I don't think Luan has the offense to navigate a tournament.
Luan, I didn't put Luan in there, in all fairness.
Teamer is like 0 for Will Luan, which is concerning. Ed Scott can be up and down. Bryce Andonian's very up and down. To me, you could really talk me into Haynes, Robb, Franek, Meyer as a tier 1. And then
what about Messemer?
Are they going to double enter at Penn State?
I heard that they're petitioning.
They're petitioning that?
NAI style?
Yeah, so...
NAI style, let's go.
I would put
maybe Haynes moves up. I don't know what's going on over there. He's got a plan.
What? The crazy thing is, I feel like they don't even know. Like
I don't think they actually know. Actually, I literally asked John about this. So John's vision. I asked him like last week because I said I was talking going to the Bill Farrell because I'm going to the Bill Farrell to coach a few people. I said, "Is Mitchell going to the Bill Farrell?" Because I'm going, and he's like, "I don't know. They haven't even talked about it yet."
Man,
yeah,
they're very in the moment. They obviously have a plan and thought, but like, it seems like they don't talk. Like, weight doesn't come up much, and who's going if you're not going, because it doesn't really change how they're training or what they're doing or what they're trying to do. So, yeah, we may not know for a little bit, but it seems like Levi is sort of, based on your interview with him, it sounded to me like he's going and staying at 57 to me. So if that happens, no Mitchell.
Yeah.
I presume. So, yeah, I feel like it's those guys. I mean, part of me really wants to pick Meyer to win this whole weight. I kind of think he will.
Ooh, wow. So Meyer over Haynes.
Someone's got to win.
Someone does have to win. Hey, a really good guy. I went back and looked at the junior trials bracket or the junior open bracket. Really good guy here. But I don't think he's going this weight because he has a teammate here, Antrell Taylor. Where's he going?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's tough. He's really tough.
He is tough. He can't go. Yeah, he can't go down.
I wouldn't imagine he'd be going down. That would be. So I guess going up for a year, maybe.
Maybe he goes 65 for a year. They have Bubba Wilson there, but maybe a little more upside. Let's look at his season. He lost.
Oh, it's not so good. He needs to learn. He needs to do some bridging drills because he got pinned 3 times.
Yeah, he got pinned by Peyton Keller. He got pinned by Anthony Artelona, 6-0'd by Alejandro Herrera, and pinned by Chase Saldate. So, yeah, maybe a little bit to go there for Antrell.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Rob's back and fully healthy. We're kind of just assuming that he's going to be able to return back to the level he was at, in which case, he can for sure win a national title. So that's my tier 1. Levi, Meyer, Franek, Robb, Gap. Teamer, Scott, Andonian, Luan.
I'm going to have Ollie come down here, put a beat down on you.
He can do that all he wants. He can whine. You know what? Ollie's been running.
Teamer beats Jared Franek. That's I would probably pick that. He beat him at NCAs 2 years ago, didn't he?
I could see that. I could see that happening.
Yeah, and I could find some people that beat Ja'Cory also. And I've also think Frantic's reached a level of consistency last year maybe we hadn't seen before. Let's look
Man, who had I was just looking at the Junior Open. I want to distract you here, Christian, but you guys, man, he was tough last year. Daniel Cardenas, and he kind of had a crap draw at NCAs because he only went 2-2, but he lost to Rob and Scott in overtime. Well, Scott was overtime. Rob, he lost 6-4.
Yeah, so maybe he is a tier 2 type of dude. Let's look at the best win for Daniel Cardenas.
The best win, I would say, would be Caden G-Filler.
Okay.
Which maybe it's not that great.
That is not compelling me to move him up. He lost to Jarrett JQs also. Yeah. Potential for sure, but we haven't seen
Another guy, true freshman, so
he was a true freshman.
For a jump.
No doubt. Didn't he have like the 5 seed too?
Yes.
So
I think 6.
I don't want to hear about his, unfortunate draw.
The problem was it wasn't his fault. Ed Scott lost early, so Ed Scott was on the backside early and took him out.
Yeah. What was Ed Scott seeded?
I don't know.
Probably not as high as 6 because he had a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
Don't get me going. Dang schedules. So yeah, I think Cardenas can be a tier 2 guy. We haven't seen it yet though. He hasn't beaten anyone on that level at this point.
Dude, hey, this bracket 70 kg at the Open was good.
So good.
Yeah. Jackson Arrington took out Bo Mantanona in Conci round of 16 and then took out Jordan Williams the next match, but then lost a crazy one to Ryder Downey. Wow. We got Pinheiro, we got John Wiley, Nico Ruiz. This bracket is stacked.
Who's Ryder Downey? How do I know?
He's a Northern Iowa kid. And Ryder Downey took out Caleb Larkin and he took out Jackson Arrington before losing to Daniel Cardenas.
How do I not know who that is? Where does he go to college?
Northern Iowa.
Dang.
Yeah, I believe he's from the Northern Iowa area.
Hey, you have UNI wrestlers. What's happening in their buildings?
That's a crazy story.
So, I'll give you so UNI is no longer practicing in West Gym. Their facility was in West Gym. West Gym was this iconic, crazy old gym where they competed.
98 years old.
It's 98 years old. And here's what I've known. Like, I remember, I feel like it was 4 years ago. Mike was there and was telling us how, West Gym, and it was public. It wasn't just, Mike knew. But, West Gym's going to be condemned. It's not.
Yes.
They have to either, completely overhaul it and fix it, or it's going to be condemned. So I don't understand how 4 years later they're without a place to train when for 4 years they knew this was not going to be the option. Right.
My understanding was that they thought there was an easy fix they could do somehow, and then that didn't work. And then when that didn't work, they said, "Nah, we're done. You're out."
Yeah. So I don't understand why they don't have a place to practice on campus.
Well,
why was
just off campus? And yeah.
Why was there no contingency plan? Where's the? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I can dig deeper if you want, but I have not dug that deep on this one.
Yeah.
But it does suck for the Northern Iowa guys.
Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal.
I don't know if they have a solution in the works.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's one thing if, hey, this is going to suck for a season or a few months or whatever, but is there a place being built for them to have wrestling practice that is on the UNI campus? I don't understand sponsoring a sport if you're not going to have a place for them to do the sport.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know they're working with construction companies, specifically RDG, Planning and Design, to maybe build a new one. But
no free ads here for your construction.
Shout out RDG.
He's shouting out, yeah, my boys at Halliburton going to put something together. Come on, JD.
But I don't know if that. I don't think there's anything concrete yet that I have heard of anyway. It's just
Anything Concrete, another great company out in Cedar Falls. Love the guys that did Anything Concrete. All right. Well, JD's going to work on the bids for the new UNI facility. In the meantime, who wins this weight class, Ben? You can't say Mitchell.
I already did my seeds. I'll do final seeds, final answer. I'm gonna go Levi Haynes, Meyer Shapiro, Mitchell Massenbrick, tier 1.
No.
I can do what I want here, Christian. You're not my boss here. I can do what I want. I can pick whatever seeds I want. Tier 2, Franek, Rob, Teamer, Scott, Andonian, Luan, and then tier 3 on down. Oh, tier 2 Chittum also.
Yep, I'm with that. Wait, tier 2 Chittum or tier 3? You said
I put Chittum in 2.
Okay.
I'm going.
I think a good chance he'll All-American.
As I survey.
I'm also going Cardenas tier 2. Sue me.
I'm gonna sue you. I'll see you in court. I don't hate it, but my brain is like, man, you had all year to notch a win over a top 15 guy and didn't do it. Yes. Like, it's one thing. A JQ's loss is excusable if you have other wins behind it, but if you don't, then it seems like you're not quite winning those big ones yet. Although,
listen here, he's that guy, pal.
Okay. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying the evidence is not there yet, but true freshman bump could happen.
I'm also giving him a little bit of credit for not dropping a terrible match as a true freshman. He did wrestle a full season, went to Scuffle, wrestled at several other opens. So it wasn't like he wasn't out there competing a whole lot. So I think that's notable as a true freshman to only have one loss during the regular season. Not a super tough schedule, albeit, I admit, but to go through that season with only one loss is notable.
Sounds like you're casting some serious aspersions about the Menlo Open. I don't even want to know what you're implying there. Okay, one guy I think, hey, this dude could make a jump is Patty Gallagher. I feel like, you know what? Yes. We'll fight. Fine. You know what? Let's see. See that he doesn't end up. He was coming along at the end of last year. And eyeball test, I like what I've seen. Now, would he beat a Daniel Cardenas? These are great questions. I don't know. I feel like if that match happened in a month, I'd be like, Patty might do it.
This is a match.
This is a real match.
I could see him beating Cardenas. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that sentiment. But in all fairness, he was 12-11 last year. And it's not like he was like a guy who wasn't good in high school. And, he was like a number one guy in high school. And so to, come in, have a solid redshirt year and then 12-11, maybe not so great. It wasn't
pretty. And you'll never hear me say it was. And I'm just saying, if there's someone that could take a step forward, I think it could be him. Okay. But maybe not.
He only has a couple like bad losses, but then on the win side, who's his best win? Andrew Clark,
Trevor Chumbley, maybe.
Chumbley.
Well, he lost to he did beat him in tiebreaker. He lost to him also earlier in the season.
Yeah. So we shall see. He did win 2 matches at the NC2A championships. Cale Swenson's also a guy for sure for South Dakota State that should be considered. He kind of came
wins
on.
At NCAAs, lost to Chumbley and Luan.
He's a tough guy. All right, let's do some questions. I don't want to do another. We're not doing 65 today.
Why? Why not?
Because I say so. Because I want to do some questions and then go. And I'm going to give you, Ben, a little time to get a little intel for the homies. Find out a little something about Mitchell.
Who, Penn State? He didn't tell me nothing.
I don't think
I don't think he knows nothing, and I don't know if he would tell me if he did know.
Dang. Cut off already.
Before we get to questions, scheduling note, only one show next week, and it's on Wednesday.
It's on Wednesday.
So
after just not one show ago was I bragging about our scheduling consistency, and now No. But I'm going to be in Iowa next week for several days.
Iowa?
Huh?
What are you doing there?
Building lists, Jim.
Yeah, I'm building. I'm going to get some bids for a new facility.
He's making bids.
Yeah, I'm making some bids. I have several construction companies in Iowa. No, I'm going to the University of Iowa for a project.
It should always be said when we our schedule is not nip and tuck. It's because we're getting good content for you, the consumer.
I don't think nip and tuck makes sense there, but I knew what you meant. All right. Oh, tweeners. We sort of had a question about tweeners, and then we just talked about Vito and moved on. So what do the other tweeners do? So we talked about Vito, and there's really no scenario we think he should or will go up. We think he's going down to 57.
Yeah.
Same for Dayton Fix.
Yes.
The biggest one of them all is truly Zane Rutherford. And I personally believe he's going up, and I think that's probably the move to make. What were we saying about Zane as he won and looked great? We're like, how big this dude looks. Like, he has cultivated mass
huge
in a good way, and not in a walking around with trash bags full of burritos like Mac from Sunny did. He did it the right way. So I think he moves up, and is he ready to beat a Dake or a Burroughs? It's sort of tough to say, but I think he's an undeniable X factor at that weight.
I mean, he looks so big that I think 65 would be the best, but I think he's past that. I don't think he can make that weight class anymore.
No, in 2 days, and at least go out. This is my whole thing with Jordan. And you know what? Maybe Jordan is just going to make 74 and feel great, but
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be really tough, and I feel like at least at 86, Jordan's going to go out looking like Jordan and be able to compete like Jordan and fire off a lot of attacks. He's going to be in the bracket. So now if you're in the bracket, do you want to feel depleted or like full of energy? And I feel similarly about Zane, like especially for Zane, who's someone he's so powerful. Now you're going to suck so much of that power out if you go down to 65 kilograms, whereas maybe you can become even more powerful, cultivating mass.
Yeah.
So that 74 kg Olympic trials. Zane, Nolf, Dake, Mitchell, all same room.
Yeah. All highly credentialed. Highly credentialed. And maybe Levi throws his hat in the ring. Although, maybe not. I'm not sure what his plan would be.
I think he might.
Yeah,
he would have to qualify. I mean, the only place he could currently qualify would be by winning the NCAA title. Well, I guess he could wrestle Bill Farrell.
Or Senior Nationals or Bill Farrell.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Are there any other... Okay. Zahid's interesting because he obviously will go down.
Yes.
But, man, if he could somehow get bigger. But I do feel good that... What did he weigh in at? 89 kilograms or something like that?
Yeah, something smaller.
Yeah.
Or no, it was like maybe even less than that, like 80. He was so small, which actually confirms what I've been saying, is that he's a small 86 as well.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
If I'm in Ziggy's corner, I say, come here, son. Look at your brother. He will wrestle.
No.
He will wrestle at these Olympics.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, do it.
You?
Do it.
Maybe you should wrestle at these Olympics with your brother.
No. He doesn't have to be like...
You hate Zahid. You just don't want to
I love Zahid. This is because I want him.
I mean, honestly, Christian, think about it right now. 74 kilograms. Dake is out. They take the top 2 at Pan Am's. Man, Anthony's got a really good chance of making it.
That may happen.
The Valencia brothers. They put Mexico wrestling on the map along with their pal Roman Bravo Young.
And Austin Gomez.
Now, that's a team. We got a team now.
Got a squad.
Who else can we fill in those other weight classes? We need a 97 and a heavyweight.
Stop getting rid of our talent.
Who else? Can we make Wyatt Hendrickson wrestle down there? He's too great of an
You're
American.
trying to take the great American hero.
Literally the great American hero.
A little Air Force.
Let me look at our heavyweight rankings here. What about Don Bradley? Can we get him down there?
But are we just listing heavyweight wrestlers now?
Good ones that could probably qualify.
Okay,
because
yeah.
basic, but what's like Pan Am's, if you take the American rep out, Pan Am's is not that hard, and you only got to be top 2.
Yeah, because Cuba is not good.
Way down.
Super down.
Hey, why is Cuba still good at Greco but not good at freestyle anymore?
I don't know.
Because they did pretty well at Worlds.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh.
I have no theory.
Is it? I mean, the level of competition.
Oh, that's possible. But what if it's level of competition? How bad are we?
Yeah, we're not good at Greco-Roman.
Men's Greco, they still took 4th with 2 champs and a 3rd. Damn, they only brought 5 guys, and they brought six people. And they got first, 3rd, 7th, and then 2 DMPs.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if there was a question here about this, but we should talk about the Sidikov comments about Dake. Did you see this, Ben?
I did see that. I saw it in the questions. I saw people. I saw multiple. I saw there was one talking about prior to the match, and one talking about after the match he felt disrespected because Dake didn't shake his hand properly or something to that effect.
Bro, it's straight Russian spin from Sidikov. It's preposterous. Like if you watch the handshake, they both like rear back and just slap each other's hands. Like at no point was Sidikov trying to shake his hand either. This is before the match, and then after the match, they have the long review and challenge, and there's Sidikov wasn't looking for some handshake or some sign of respect. He just wanted. It's all about. It's propaganda. That's what they do. It's propaganda.
Propaganda.
That's all. That's it. That's it. It's BS. What do you want? What do they want from these guys?
No, I generally agree with you, but I would say just because he feels that way doesn't mean that's the reality of what happened, which is what you're saying. But we all know, like Michael Jordan used to make up crap all the time, so he was a little more motivated.
Yeah.
And I always say with competitors, like I say this with my athletes, like, do you really need someone to say something to be fired up? Like, you should want to win because you come in and you work hard at this every single day. That should be enough motivation for you to want to kick someone's butt.
Tom Brady said the same thing. Like
what? Which one? What I said?
He would find anything to perceive as a slight and just focus on that.
Belichick is notorious for like making your players think they doubted you, and like Nick Saban or like Kirby Smart. It's like, no, you're preseason number 1 or 2.
But it works.
But one person said didn't pick you.
Yeah.
And so now it's like they didn't think we could do it. It's like, no, that's so dumb.
So yeah, I know it's funny because I know some of the best athletes in the world do it for sure, right? But it is also so annoying because when you think from a logical standpoint about it, it's like, wait, so you're only going to compete as hard as you can when someone says something about you? Like, why? How about you just compete as hard as you can all the time? Like, doesn't that make a lot more sense? But yeah, I mean, Tom Brady and Michael Jordan, those are like two of the best of all time, so it's hard to argue with them.
It's common in wrestling too. The number of people that'll be like, this is the funniest thing. They'll be like, oh, what happened to your boy? I'll be like, and it'll be like some wrestler totally unaffiliated or like that I wouldn't even think would be theorized as my boy, because they just like build up in their mind like Flo's got a favorite, CP's got a favorite. I've heard that so many times.
You're a Penn State homer.
Well, I don't know if I'm a homer so much as realistic about what's happening.
I'm messing with you.
So yeah, I think it's just a thing, and I don't malign the coaches or the athletes for that, but it is a weird thing. But yeah, Dake didn't do anything disrespectful. Because I went back and watched, I was like, oh, maybe I missed this.
It could have been during when they were trying to review, and Sidikov went to go shake his hand at the end, and we didn't see it.
I mean, the match isn't over then. What are we shaking for? That's what I would say. And
I mean, the other comment, which I gotta believe is also Russian propaganda, Christian, was that I thought you put in the doc, it said something like Sidikov never watched Dake, but he was ready for that chest strap situation. And I mean, this is what I was saying. Someone actually who just brought this up to me on Saturday. It was one of my athletes said something like, Frank Chamizo says he never watches film. And my argument to him was, okay, number one, how many people in the world can actually beat Frank Chamizo? And pick anyone else, Sidikov. How many people could actually beat him? And the answer is like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, like a really small number. Like, I just can't throw you in there and beat them. It's impossible, right? So given the fact that only a few people can beat you in the world, and that you've probably either wrestled them, right? Or been in the same tournament as them and loosely observed their match, like you kind of know. Do you know what I'm saying or no?
What do you think?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like and Sidakov maybe doesn't watch a whole lot of tape, but I bet his coaches are, and saying, "Hey, you got to watch out for this." So maybe he specifically didn't game plan, but like, you've watched Kyle Dake wrestle.
Yeah. But you're telling me no time in the last 5 world championships that you just been sitting in the stands at, you cool down after a match, you sit down and he's wrestling and there's only 3 mats. Right. How many can you watch? Like, come on.
You've definitely seen him and watched him wrestle. Now, I would say there is a difference between that and like, quote, film study, unquote, where you're dissecting everything very closely.
Yes.
Going back and rewatching through positions and stuff like that. But so maybe he doesn't.
But I don't know. When you're that high level, when you're that high level, it's like you just pick it up. Like, I mean, that's what Keegan said. Keegan said it the day before he wrestled Sidakov. He's like, what someone needs to do against Kyle Dake is outside step and attack his heel. And that was exactly what Sidakov did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like people who are really high level, they kind of pick up on it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, Sidakov follows FloWrestling, and we posted a lot of Kyle Dake stuff. So
Sidakov, you're busted. You guys should go back and see which videos he's watched.
Well,
boom, bust him.
You can't do that, but that would be sweet.
I thought you could do that.
You could look if they liked a video, but you can't tell if someone watched it.
I thought there was something where you could see who's watched your video or something like that.
You can see who's looked at your story if you look within that 24 hours.
Got it. Okay.
Close. Okay. We almost got to a question during the question segment. Okay.
We just answered a couple.
We did. Oh, we did that one. Yeah. There was a. For Ben, what wrestlers transitioning from youth to junior high, what should they be focused on?
I don't know, just being better wrestlers because no one at that age is very good.
I don't know. There are a few national champions, so I'm not sure what the heck you're talking about.
By definition, yes, someone will win, but if you. And this is why my beef with, I hate that track wrestling, and hopefully you guys are going to change this in the new iteration, that they have that rank system. And
we're just going to call
you can be highly ranked as a middle schooler because they're only comparing you to your opponents. But if they compare you against the general scope of everybody, right? So if the highest ranked is a 10, when you're a middle schooler, the highest you should be able to get is like a, 5, 4, somewhere, and you have to work your way up because you're just not even the very best middle schoolers. They're just not that good compared to the best high schoolers, and the best high schoolers likely aren't that good compared to the best college kids, and the best college kids, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's also a silly argument because you should be compared against your peers. We don't compare, like, a person who's a heavyweight is going to beat somebody who's a 125 pounder.
So you could have one where you're compared against your peers, but there should be one also to. I mean, this is why we the All-American boards. We don't have any youth national All-American boards at AWA because we know that the focus should be on later wrestling, and the younger kids just aren't as good. And so the younger age group is a time where you get better, you build skills, you enjoy wrestling, and then you focus on being more competitive later on.
I'm with you, dog.
So, what?
I'm with you.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, there was another question. How do you balance last question? How do you balance coaching the kids that want to wrestle and be good, and the kids that are just there for a community / stay busy? Feel like I'm drowning, trying to meet the needs of both groups this preseason. Thanks.
Yes. Who's that from?
From CP Talk. That's it.
CP Talk. Well, I would think.
Literally,
I mean, so. You're asking your okay.
No, this is not me. This is not me.
The more groups you can split it in, the better. And like I always laughed that when I was a kid, it was K through 8. I don't know how they did that. I mean, we have right now, and just my academy, my one academy, we have a 5-year-old group. They're wild. They don't listen to nothing. They can't even stay in bounds. When I say stay in bounds, they do nothing right. They're so much fun though, right? They're wild. They're great.
How's Ozzy doing?
Oh, dude, he just broke his arm. It's not bad, though. He's fine. He fell with the monkey bars. It doesn't even hurt anymore, but they said, like, stay off it for 4 more weeks.
Bummer. Tell him I hope he gets better and can at least fish some.
I think he's going to do that. So he'll be all right. Then we have a 6, 7-year-old class, 8, 9-year-old class, middle school class, and then 3 different high school classes. It's like, yeah, you need to split them to the more you can split them, the better you can serve who's in the classes, and the less you can split them, the less you can serve. So, yeah, you need to figure out, get more help and more coaches, and kind of do it that way. Because, yeah, if there's a really, really, really high level kid and some kids who don't know what they're doing, yeah, it's hard to serve both of them.
Yes, I feel this as well. Okay. Hey, it's 9:31.
Can't believe we
ignored
Detroit style pizza number 1.
Which one was that? You can say it. I don't know which question that is.
Is the Kool-Aid Man the pitcher or the liquid inside of it?
I think he's the pitcher.
He's the pitcher.
For once, we agree.
I found a commercial that confirms it.
Oh, really?
Because this is interesting.
He gets drank at some time, right? Yeah, the Kool-Aid Man is...
There's a commercial where he showers and fills himself up with water.
Wow.
And then dumps Kool-Aid in.
I'm glad we got to this. Make sure this is one of the... Look at this. Yeah, he's clearly the pitcher. Yeah. Come on, Detroit-style pizza. All right, we're going to go for real this time.
Real.
Thank you guys so much. The programming note, reiterating that, Wednesday next week, I won't be here. JD, yes. Ben, yes. Special guests. A special return of someone, maybe, perhaps, potentially. I'm not going to get your hopes up, though, because this guy has been MIA, AWOL since 2021. And honestly, I don't know if he's going to make the walk, but if he does, it'll be good for you guys, and I'll definitely be tuning in. Hope you guys have a great weekend. See you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Peace.